All right, what's up, pre-calculus? I'm back at home on the couch watching some football, and my Titans don't start until 3 o'clock, so I got time to do schoolwork on a Sunday. Got to get ahead because I'm headed to guys' camp out this weekend, so trying to set you all up for success. So this will be a short video because we're gonna review Monday in class. So this is just one final little 10-minute burst to kind of help you feel prepared for tomorrow. So all I'm going to do is solve these two triangles. They're each different and unique, and then we're going to do 2 word problems, and that's it. So solving triangles, first thing, reminder, you have to use your calculator, and you have to be in degree mode. So make sure you press the mode button on your calculator and make sure the word degree is highlighted, and then you'll be good to go. So what does it mean to solve a triangle? It means to find every missing angle inside. So like on this triangle ABC, we're going to have angle A, angle B, angle C, side A, side B, and side C. Okay, angles are capital letters and sides are lowercase letters. So the first thing we do is we put everything that is given to us. So we look around and we see angle B very clearly is 57 degrees. So let's put that. We see that angle C very clearly is 90 degrees, so we'll put that. And when we have 2 angles, we know that we can just subtract from 180 to get the last one. So 180 minus 90 is 90. So really we're just doing 90 minus 57 is all we're doing, which is 33. So hey, we have all 3 angles. Great. Do we have any side links? Yes, we do. We have this side right here, which is actually side B. Remember, the angle points to its corresponding side. So side B is 10.8. But we don't know side A or side C. Let me open up my calculator app here. See, we haven't done any math yet, really. Just some subtraction. We already have 4 out of the 6 pieces. The calculator is going to help us get the last few. So let's set up our proportion. I'm going to switch over to red, and I'm going to find this side first, side A. So how do I find side A? Well, I use one of the 2 acute angles, either 33 or 57. You don't use the right angle. And then I set up a proportion. So I'm going to look to see this. I'm going to have to use the side that they gave us. The 10.8 is a necessary piece. So let me just use angle 33 here. So I need to ask myself, what is the relationship with the side that they gave us with angle 33? Well, that's the adjacent side. So I'm using the adjacent, and then I'm looking across at little a over here, and that is the opposite side. So I need to use the trig function that involves opposite and adjacent. And so if I just, remember my acronym here, opposite adjacent is actually tangent. So the ratio that I set up is I say tangent of 33 degrees, you always have the trig function of an angle, tangent of 33 equals opposite, which is lowercase a, over adjacent, which is 10.8. And I put my tangent of 33 over 1. So now I have a proportion set up here, and I'm going to solve it by cross multiplying. So I'm going to do tangent of 33 times 10.8. That's where my calculator is going to come in. Tangent of 33, we'll make sure we close that in parentheses, multiplied by 10.8, and then that's going to equal a times 1. So that's actually going to be my answer. So let's go type in tangent of 33 times 10.8. I think I like to, let me make sure I'm in degree mode. You press mode, yes, degree is highlighted. I like to do this first, 10.8 times tangent of 33. That way there's no confusion as to what we're multiplying by. And the answer is 7.014. Let's just round to 3 decimal places. 7.014. That is little a, 7.014. And now really we could do, now that you have 2 sides, we could do a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find our hypotenuse. Or we could set up another trig proportion. Since most of us know how to do the Pythagorean theorem, I'm going to just set up another proportion. So I'm just going to delete this to clear myself some space. You can pause real quick if you need to maybe jot some notes down. But I'm going to delete that, and now I'm going to set up to find this one. Let me erase some of that. I'm looking for my hypotenuse. It's the only one left because we know that this one is 7.014. So I'm going to use 33 again because I like that one. And let's just go adjacent and hypotenuse this time. Which trig function is adjacent and hypotenuse? That would be cosine. So I'm going to say the cosine of 33 equals adjacent, which is 10.8, times or divided by the hypotenuse, which we don't know. Once again, I cross multiply. Cosine of 33 multiplied by x is just x times cosine of 33. 10.8 times 1 is just 10.8. And I don't have x by itself yet, so I need to divide both sides by cosine of 33. So x is going to be whatever 10.8 divided by cosine of 33 is. Let's use our calculator. 10.8 divided by cosine of 33. I like to hit the fraction bar so that I can put 10.8 divided by cosine of 33. And we get 12.878. 12.878. Now let's just test before we move on, because we are done. We have solved this triangle. And looking here, smallest angle with smallest side, middle angle with the middle length, and 90 with the biggest. Yeah, I think that checks out. We have solved that triangle. Okay. So let's do this next one, and here's why this one is different so that you don't skip over it. Is look, we don't have any angles other than the 90, so we're gonna have to use a special thing on our calculator called inverse trig to do that. But first we get to use the Pythagorean theorem, and be careful because Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but c has to be the hypotenuse. And here we get lucky because the two that they gave us are the two legs, so we can just put those in a and b, doesn't matter which one. But C is what we're finding. And thankfully the C is the angle C and C match up. Okay, that was beautiful. So let's just do that real quick. 7.7 squared plus 14 squared equals C squared. Let's do that in our calculator. 7.7 squared plus 14 squared equals that. And then we're going to do square root of that. Second answer. And we get 15.978. 15.978. C equals 15.978. So that is side C. Oh yeah, we got angle A, angle B, angle C, side A, side B, side C. Let's write down what we know. We know all the sides now. We know that side A is 14. We know that side B is 7.7. We just found the hypotenuse is 15.978. But the only angle that we know is the 90-degree one. We're missing our other two angles. And so what we have to do is we have to use inverse trig. We have to use inverse trig. And so let's use the sides that they gave us. I don't really like using the side that we came up with because we had to round. But these two, they didn't have to round. So we have this angle sitting here. Let's start with that one. Angle B. What is the relationship that we're going to use, the trig relationship that deals with the opposite and that deals with the adjacent with angle B? Opposite, adjacent, opposite, adjacent. That's tangent. So we are going to use the inverse tangent of the opposite 7.7 over the adjacent 14, and that is going to give us our answer. So when you're looking for angles, you don't set up a proportion like we did. The proportion and the cross multiplication, that's for side lengths. But this, using inverses, is when you're working backwards to find an angle. So let's use our calculator. Inverse tangent of 7.7 divided by 14. You press second tangent to get the inverse tangent. And then alpha y equals to get our fraction bar. 7.7 over 14. Boom, 28. For angles, I like to round to the nearest degree, so that's 28.8. That's 29 degrees for angle B. And once again, when you have two angles, you don't need to do another trig function. You can just do 180 minus 90, which is 90, and 90 minus 29, which is 61. So that adds up to 180. And we have, once again, let's check, biggest angle, biggest side. Yep, that is the solution to that triangle. All right, so we're at the 10-minute mark, so I'm not going to do both of these. I'm just going to do this one, because this one's more complicated. I can draw you a picture here. You're welcome to try that one if you want. It's just there's a wall that's 13 feet. There's a 14-foot ladder that's leaning up against the wall, and I think they want to find the angle of elevation. So that right there is what they're looking for. So again, you'll have to use inverse trig, so you can solve that. Let's do this one. It's a little more complicated. A person stands at the window of a building. There's the window. Okay, pretend like someone's in there looking here. So that his eyes are 12.6 meters above level ground. So we'll just draw, I'm gonna switch to blue. We'll draw, because you have to you're making a triangle, right? So there are his eyes, and they're 12.6 meters above the ground. An object is on the ground, so over here's the object. It's just a little brick. And it's 58 meters away from the building on a line directly beneath the person. Okay? Compute the angle of depression of the person's line of sight to the object on the ground. Here's why I wanted to show you this problem. Catch this. Don't fall asleep. This would be incorrect. That is not the angle of depression. Okay? Angle of depression is parallel with the sky. So this right here is the angle of depression. That is the triangle that we have to use. This triangle underneath it was just helping us set up, because look, we can now take those two values and put them on our actual triangle that we're going to use. If this bottom line is 58.5, then that means this line up here is 58.5. And if this height from the ground to his eyes is 12.6, that means this is 12.6. So honestly, that is the picture that we need to do. Angle of depression is parallel with the sky. And if we're going to find that angle right there, then we need to use inverse trig again. We're finding angles. So what is this? This is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. So it's inverse tangent again. So we go inverse tangent of opposite, 12.6, over adjacent, 58.5. Let's see what his angle of depression was. 12.6 over 58.5. Inverse tangent. .6 over 58.5. That angle is 12 degrees. So there you have it. Drawing pictures is key. Just remember, angle of elevation is parallel with the ground looking up. See how this angle right here is parallel with the ground? But over here, angle of depression, we're parallel with the sky. Make sure you get those right, because it will affect your triangles just a little bit. Make sure you know kind of what they're asking, which side they're asking to solve for. And I hope that the combination of the review from Monday and then this video, I hope you feel ready. Just make sure you have a calculator ready to go in the morning. Good luck, everybody. See you tomorrow. Keep working hard. Peace.